Sixleaf here. Sixleaf. Yeah, they don't have any designations on the box, man. You just got to get them out. But they are a nice box. I'll be honest. I do like it. They typically ship in a bubble pack from China, and I've yet to have one crushed. Like, they survive. So, and I'm pretty sure that if you buy one of these from Timber's Edge, same thing with a Tucson, there's a really good chance that you'll get it in a bubble pack. It's the way they're received, so might as well send them out that way. All right, well, this is a SL-67. There it is. It's hard to see. Obviously, it's in polished Damascus steel. It's right here. But yeah, it's a SL-67. Full titanium scales that have been scalloped. Wonderful milling on it. And then it's got this polished Damascus steel blade that we can see all the layers in the blade. It's not like some cheap coating on it. It's legit Damascus for sure. And so here we go. The first one of these that I did is actually right here on the bench. And the reason it's here is because, whoo-wee, was this a process. The pivot stripped out, some other things, and the pocket clip is milled too big for the knife. So this is super tight, but the pocket clip's got a bunch of wiggle in it. And so they decided not to put this over there at Timber's Edge. I get it. Why sell it with these defects? The other thing is I fixed this pivot with some wire. Like, I put some wire on the thread and re-threaded it in there, and it is solid as a rock. The pivot's tight, but this pocket clip, I couldn't get it tight. And it's because the hole here is bigger than the clip is milled. And so it's a perfect example of one screw, even recessed into titanium. If it's not milled tight, doesn't matter. The thing's going to wobble. And of course, this big knife, as you function it, you're pulling and pushing on this clip side to side. Does it affect overall the knife? I don't think so. I mean, it's tight, it's in titanium, but it does move. So yeah, so for now it's just sitting here on the bench. I don't know what's going to happen to it. So this is take two. Now that doesn't appear to be loose at all. That is tight as tight can be. Great action, centered blade, wonderful flip on the back. Let's get rid of all these distractions here. Let's get a hard look at this knife. Yeah, back flipper. Thumb flick. Oh, Spidey flick's a little rough, man. I had to dig pretty hard for that. So it's going to come down to, I mean, the clip is tight. So do I just leave it alone? Or do I take it apart? Right? Like, that's the question. I'm looking at the milling for the clip, and I'm guessing that the milling for the pocket clip on this one just went astray. That's my guess. Because even looking at it, there's a ton of play in that clip. So potentially on this one, it just went astray. And on this one, this whole knife can redeem itself. So honestly, I think the fair thing to do is for me to take it apart and see if we run into any of the troubles that we ran into with the other one. And I'm sure Timber's Edge would love to have this knife and put it for sale on their site. So, yeah, I mean, we're going to get in it. I got to get a screwdriver. Okay. Well, listen, for what it's worth, I want this thing to be tippy top, because it honestly, it's a pretty cool knife. It's a large knife. You got to want a big knife. I mean, look, for this little recess here, full 2 fingers in there. Nice combat jimping, man. I covered all this in the first video. I mean, there's a lot still sticking out here, but for a large knife, I mean, I really like the knife, and the price point on it is just stupid. But we can't have all this nonsense going on. So, anyways, man, let's, without further ado, let's see what's up. Yeah, I think we're in the same space here that we were in the other one, is that they put a bunch of industrial grade Loctite on that pivot. And I'm pretty sure I had to, maybe it was back here. I had to soak it to get it apart. But man, let's go back here to this pocket clip and see, pull it and see what we encounter here. Okay, well, so one out of a couple of things, the pocket clip is milled correctly. The titanium is milled really tight specs, and the pocket clip fits snugly into the milling. So as long as the screw's tight, there's not going to be any play on the pocket clip. So that's resolved. So that makes me just think that the other one that I had is a freak. It's a one-off, which makes me happy. Yeah. This screw was super loose. I never touched it, and it's ready to fall out of there. Wonder if it'll tighten. Yeah, it'll tighten. All right, well, let's get rid of it. And then I'm not going to try too much, but I'm going to put a little pressure down on that blade on the bench and see if I can't get this to turn. If I can't, I'm not going to risk it. We'll boil it and get rid of that Loctite. Or I probably won't boil it, but I'll put it in some really hot water. Yeah, there's no sense me jacking it because I don't want to mess it up. Because listen, there's probably a percentage of y'all that wouldn't take your knife apart, right? And so as long as it held together properly, which so far it is, the knife would be solid. It's just, me tinkering around. I got to take everything apart. But I'm going to heat this up in my ultrasonic with some hot water in there, and we'll let that soak for a minute, and then we'll come back to it. But I'm gonna put some hot water on it before I stress that and see if I can't get it out. I'll be back. I mean, for y'all, it's gonna be just like a flash, but I'll move my hand and we'll be back. Like I said, like that, we back. Yeah. So, soaked it in the ultrasonic, just this end here, and loosened up all that Loctite. I mean, they're just over Loctiting these, man, and I'm pretty sure that's why we struggled with the first one. It's just got too much Loctite in there. And, I mean, I would definitely say that if you're not proficient with dealing with Loctite like this may have, you might, I mean, look at it all in here. It's just flaking off, coming out of there. And it's industrial grade. If it was standard, blue Loctite, it probably wouldn't be that big of a deal. But yeah, this stuff is industrial grade, man. So cautionary tale. But so far, the pocket clip has redeemed itself. And as long as this doesn't strip out when we put it back together, I mean, the knife's probably going to redeem itself. I do, it's a preliminary opinion, but I think we just had a one-off. We had one that just had some issues, and something tells me we're not going to find those same issues with this one. And, which is a good thing, because then this beautiful knife, look at this blade, man. How about a close-up look of that? Yeah, what a beauty. Down on the flipper tab. I mean, wow. Yeah, and so what it means is we can get this thing over to Timber's Edge, and one of y'all can put it in your collection, put it in your pocket. I want to try to pull that out because that was soaking in the ultrasonic, so I'd like to get that out of there. We don't want to leave any moisture behind it. Come on, man. Oh, it doesn't want to come. No, it doesn't. But with it being that tight in there, I don't think anything's behind it because it. Oh, there it goes. Just needed a sharp wrap. Little wrap. Not that kind of wrap. All right. Okay. I think I'm gonna pull this this metal insert real quick. Yeah, come off easy. Just make sure we don't have any water behind it lingering, hiding out back there. Not a big deal, but okay. Small parts. Yeah, almost put my towel up. Not quite ready yet. And then, of course, we're going to put a little coat of oil on all this stuff. Just because we can. Man, I'm happy that this redeemed itself. I really am, because it is a cool knife. It's got a great price point. And, you know, one of the things I'm kind of saying with that is that you don't have to break the bank to have a cool custom knife like this. Is it handmade, one-off custom? No, I'm not saying that. But it is a cool, off the beaten path piece that a lot of times it's hard to put in a collection for somebody, you know, who doesn't have a lot of liquid money, you know. Clean up some of that Loctite. Okay. I think we're good, man. Let's put the metal insert back in. Nice. The pivot is not captured. Oh, how about a collar first? How about a washer next? Come on, man. It's like you're not paying attention. reassembled all this, and now I gotta assemble this back stuff. Wasn't paying attention. Focused on that front. There we go. Easy peasy. Okay, now on this pivot, I am going to run this screw in and out maybe several times because there's Loctite in there. Now when I start to feel resistance, I'm going to back it out all the way out so that if whatever Loctite's in those threads can work their way out of there. Now I don't mind leaving a little bit at the end, because in the end, I wanted to lock that screw down without adding any new stuff to it. I'll use the dry stuff that's in there to help me lock it up. And I think that's seated. I think that went all the way home without me having to capture it. I mean, that's a good indicator. The blade is centered. I think we're good. Ugh. Money. Yeah. I mean, redemption. All right, so I am going to put just a tiniest little bit of oil on this towel, and I want to kind of just rub all this with some oil. You know, one of the things that the ultrasonic does is it cleans all of the oils out of the metal, the titanium, the steel blade, all of it. Takes all the oils out of it. Now, if you handle it, your skin oils will go back to it. But I find that even the titanium benefits from just a little light oil rub down after I ultrasonic it. It seems to be, I know it's stupid. It's a hard, not a porous metal, but it seems to be dried out. And so, like if I did it to G10 or micarta, it definitely would dry it out. It would suck all the moisture right out of it by ultrasonicking it. Definitely all the oils, I mean. And, but I think it does it to titanium too. I mean, a light coat of oil on there, it just makes it shine, and it's not slick or slippery, but I think it's good for it, so I do it. I'm going to do that pivot too. Here's my or the thumb stud and the pivot. All right, well, man, let's break this action down. So, fall shut. Can't fail it. Thumb flick. Spidey flicks, a little rough. Could probably look at this detent to lighten it, but I'm going to leave it be. But it's a little stiff on the Spidey flick. Let's do it again. Yeah, it's definitely a little sticky. I almost think I'm gonna mess with it. I'm gonna mess with it because if you bought this from Timber's Edge and you're not a break knives down kind of guy, now you can't spidey flick the knife because it's too stiff. So I'm going to get a reference point here. I see where I'm at. I'm going to take it apart. Okay. Just a couple of screws. And now I'm able to remove this scale. And there's no over travel stop on this blade. So all I got to do is get my reference point. So where I'm at there, here's where it is when it's locked up. It's right there. So I've got quite a bit that I can take out of it. I'm not going to take all of that. I'm going to leave some of it back like that. Let's try that. If I have to do it again, that's okay. That's a process that in my opinion, you got to be willing to do it more than once. Like, you don't go into it going, well, I'm going to do it this one time, and if it's not you just got to go, yeah, how many times I got to adjust that? That's what I'm going to do. Because I may have went too far, and now the lock will fail. I might not have went far enough, and I go, yeah, I got to do some more. It's just there's no way to know because there's not a real science to it. I had somebody say, well, if you measured it, even if I measured it, like, well, how much am I taking off if I change it by a half a millimeter? There's no way to know. Even if I had measurements, it wouldn't tell me what the effect is going to be with that change. So it's really a touchy-feely process, and I will say after a while you kind of get good at doing it. All right, it's not a big deal. Just having some alignment issues here. Got it that time. Got you. It's tight. Action feels the same. That felt a little better. 100% the Spidey flick is better. Like it's a legit opening option now for the knife without wrist. Just finger underneath there. Whoop, and there it goes. The lockup looks the same as it was. Let's see if it fails. Nope. Yeah, we good. Little adjustment, man. Where was I? Well, we were doing the action. So now, I mean, I'm going to give the action an A minus. I'd give it could be an A. It's really good. It's fall shut. I mean, it's solid. That thumb flick is legit. The Spidey flick is legit. It's not sore on my finger anymore. Yeah, I mean, I like it a lot. Can I fail it? Yeah, I can fail it now because I lightened up that detent. But to me, that's a trade-off because I almost couldn't Spidey flick it at all. And to be honest, all I have to do is just add a little bit of grunt to it, and that thing's going to open. Let's go to ergonomics. I mean, it's got nice jimping on the spine, really locks in. 2 fingers go up in this front little choil cutout here in the grip. And so the result is not so confident, very confident. I mean, this thing just goes whoop. I mean, this is a beast of a knife in the hand with a very confident grip. I can kind of choke up here, but man, it puts your finger right on the back side of that sharpened blade right there. But wow, yeah, this grip is wonderful. Very nice. Reverse grip, solid. I can cap it with my thumb. It's got my hand spreading out a little bit because the handle's so wide. But yeah, that works. And then, do we get bonus points? Yeah, buddy, you bet we do. Yeah, I can definitely get it gripped here. And I'd much rather, if I had to come down with this knife like this, for whatever reason, I'd rather be this way than this way. Yeah. And this knife has it, 100%. Boom, I'm on it. Wow. Yeah, let's check pocket clip, see how it runs. I don't even remember from the first one we did what we thought about the actual clip. But I guess it don't matter because here we are. Yeah, I mean, that thing sinks pretty deep. That is a lot of knife down below. And it doesn't really reveal that. It is a long clip, but I don't know that it reveals a big knife in the pocket. About a half an inch, a little less than a half an inch poking its head out there. Excellent retention. And I think part of that is because that clip rides right on these cutouts for the lock bar. And so it's giving it some grip right there. I like it. Yeah, very cool. You can kind of hear it grip in there. Could be a shredder in and out a lot. Let's talk about safety. Had to catch myself there. Yeah, so I'm good on the blade through the scales, and the tip is nice and recessed. So the pocket clip's good. Could add a little tension to that. Wouldn't hurt it. The tip is good. It's recessed there, and I'm confident I can handle this knife any old way I want, and I'm not going to catch that sharp part. How's that detent down on the closed side now? I mean, might be soft. Let's see if we can throw it out. I think we can. Nope. Yeah, so pretty solid. We checked the lock once before, but let's check it again. Yeah, that lock is good to go. How about that Damascus? Is it sharp? And that's a hollow ground blade, by the way. I don't know if I mentioned that. Yeah, it might have slipped my conversation here, but it's got a beautiful hollow ground, so it appears to be really thin down on the edge. So that's the flat grind at the bottom, and then the top grind. The top grind's really sharp, but I think it needs just a quick strop. So I'm gonna give it to it. I'm gonna stay at a high angle because all I'm trying to do here, I'm not trying to sharpen the knife in any way. I'm just trying to get any kind of burr that might be hanging behind up on that top grind. I'm not even going to do the flat grind because the flat grind was sharp as a razor. And I'm only going to do 2 passes up here because if there's a burr on there, it's slight. Because the knife is super sharp. It just felt like it was kind of bunching up a little bit. Maybe snagging it on a little burr. So 2 strokes. Let's see how sharp we are. Just that top grind. I mean, maybe could use a little more strop work, but it's super sharp. Yeah, very sharp. And the tip, it's got that tip at the very top. You can see just the weight of the knife is a shredder. That's the weight of the knife taking that. And then this tip, oddly enough, those tips work really good. That's a tip right there. Watch it cut through here, just the weight of the knife. All right. How about just a little pressure, a little down? There it went. It was just holding on. It was trying to embarrass me. I don't embarrass that easy. All right. Yeah, beautiful. So let's wrap up. See if we can't put a price on this, and then definitely find you, if you're interested, find your way over there to Timber's Edge, because not only is there this one, but I think there's another version of this one. that of course will have to be looked at to make sure that everything's solid, because this one's got a pocket clip issue. I might reach out to my seller and see if they'll help me out with this one. We'll see. All right. Price. How much are these? I believe that this is going to be right around $78. Yep, maybe 80 bucks. Yep. Sixleaf SL-67. It's got the RWL-34 plus the PMC-27 Damascus. Pretty solid. Full titanium backspacer, milled titanium pocket clip, and it is a big, beautiful beast. Yeah, pretty cool. Hey, I appreciate y'all watching.